Right, before Joseph gets me, I'm going to change the thumbnail. I got there before you, Joseph. Where's all the pyro? Did I miss the pyro? I might have missed the pyro. Change the thumbnail to AEW. AEW. Right, we're on 10 likes. And, of course, 10 dislikes, because that's the way that YouTube works these days. I'm going to start things off then with the 8-man over the top rope battle royal. The winner gets an opportunity at the championship next week, the TNT Championship. Grab the key to heaven. May I ask if the key to heaven is a literal key to heaven, or is it some sort of innuendo? Which I'm not going to name any innuendos because I might get demonetized. Yeah, cheers for that, Jay. I'll have a look at those. So we need to sort out the women's and the cruiserweight divisions. The AEW is a lot easier. Yeah, Joseph, New Generation, throw some more ideas in the AEW tab. We'll have a look after this. I must admit, I didn't go that far. I looked at the most recent messages and I couldn't see anything. So there must have been some chatter in there, and that's why I completely. That's what I said before about trying to keep the majority of the chatters to the general tab if we can, just so when I do go onto the tabs for the individual bands, I can find everyone's ideas a bit easier. Right, now I've got to be really on top of this now, haven't I? Because this is a battle royal. A point for every elimination. Minus a point for being eliminated. Whew. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm only building the shows one by one at the moment, New Generation. Just so we can sort of react to what happens next time round. I've got some ideas for this if things happen tonight that I want to happen. But let's go. I mean, this is just an easy one to get some ranking points around, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to be concentrating a lot in this one, so I do apologise if I don't talk a lot. Sean Spears trying to eliminate Ricky Starks. I saw Ricky Starks in another match yesterday on AEW Dark, of course, which I enjoyed to a point. He's a bit weird, isn't he, Ricky Starks? And I must admit that I don't see the point in someone of that size. And he's not a big lad. He's quite small, isn't he, really? For his finisher to be a spear is not my cup of tea, to be honest. I'll have a look in a second, Chloe. What have you sent me? Something dodgy? If it's really funny and you can't stop laughing, I bet it's just like a picture of Jay's face again, isn't it? It always makes me laugh. Wow, Cody eliminates Brody. Brody got done there. He charged at Cody, and Cody just ducked and sent him over the top rope. And then there was 7, ladies and gentlemen. As Ricky Starks almost eliminating Darby Allin. Sean Spears now looking to eliminate MJF. We have to keep an eye on like 4 different things at once at the moment. And I'm trying to watch the football at the same time. West Ham Chelsea's just kicked off. Cody sending Ricky Starks in the corner. Cody already won elimination tonight, and he beat Ricky Starks one-on-one last week. So Cody is looking pretty strong in this universe at the moment. Sean Spears looks to eliminate MJF. MJF ducks him and sends him over the top. MJF gets himself a point. Sean Spears gets himself a minus point for being eliminated. And then there were 6. I agree, Jay. It weren't a bad spear, to be honest with you. It just it surprised me when people of that size go for a spear, to be honest. I don't know how realistic it looks as MJF eliminates Ricky Starks. Jungle Boy looking to eliminate Sammy Guevara. We're down to 5. We're down to 4 as Cody takes out MJF. Cody's looking good tonight, isn't he? 2 eliminations. Then there was 4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lucha. Yeah, that rings a bell now, yeah. Jungle Boy looking to eliminate Sammy Guevara. Over the top he goes. At least we know whoever gets this match next week is going to be a pretty damn good match, I think, isn't it? Jay, I think you'd be pretty lucky to be involved in that, to be honest with you, mate. Darby now looking to try and get rid of Cody. Cody fights him off. So we're down to our final 4 now. Sammy Guevara once again looking to try and eliminate Cody. Drops him next first across the top, actually, instead of trying to throw him over. As Jungle Boy trying to remove Darby Allin from the equation. Jungle Boy swings a left, right into the gut of Sammy Guevara. I just typed a number for no reason. I do apologize. What was that for? Cody taking on Darby Allin. Of course, I'm updating the rankings as we go along again. So if you want to keep an eye on what's happening in AEW Styly, click on the link down below in the description. Cody looking to try and get another elimination. He does, eliminating Sammy Guevara. Cody is making himself super, super strong here tonight. Of course, AEW know that tomorrow at NXT, as Cody also eliminates Darby Allin. Holy crap. Cody is on fire. Yeah, AEW know that tomorrow's episode of NXT will feature a Women's Championship match. So they know they need to build up something big for their show. And, oh, Cody almost eliminating Jungle Boy. Not quite, though. The Jungle Boy does it. Oh, my word. Jungle Boy. Out of nowhere, Jungle Boy gets the elimination. And Jungle Boy goes on to fight for the TNT Championship next week. Wow. Well, that's going to be an interesting one. Especially if Luchasaurus retains his championship tonight. Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship. That could be very interesting indeed. Great win there for Jungle Boy, but Cody was pretty strong. But of course, like I said, main event in tonight's show is Luchasaurus versus Jon Moxley. Will Luchasaurus be able to keep a hold of that belt tonight? Make sure you turn your mic off. Oh God. What have you sent? It's a dodgy TikTok, is it? You thought it was a 5-star? Okay. Let's move on then. One second, I'm just going to turn my mic. I've watched it. Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy would be a good one, I think. Right, so we've got Britt Baker versus Big Swole. The winner of this one will go on to join Abaddon at the pay-per-view to fight for the AEW Women's Championship to become the first champion. There's the NXT chance again. Not a big fan of the female roster, and I don't mean like the talent. I just mean the core wise. I don't think the cores are that great for AEW on this game, are they really? I mean, the Nyla Rose is pretty good. The Awesome Kong's pretty good. I mean, some of them are pretty good, but both of these two are not exactly the prime created wrestlers, are they, really? Big Swole dropping Britt Baker on the top of her head. Not a great place to be. Lucha Reject, that's the... I spoke earlier, didn't I, about the emote that I'm getting made at the moment. That's what the emote actually is. It's going to be a 5-star emote that we can use when we are... when we are doing the pay-per-views. No, when we are rating matches, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, fortunately, Lucha Reject, there's only one big swell on the entire community creations, and this was it. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not right either, is it? Nice big clothesline, taking it down. The moment the women's roster... I'm still surprised that Abaddon got the win over Nyla Rose last night, to be honest. Or Monday, should I say. Of course, this match is going to happen maybe All Out. I think they did say that Britt Baker would be back for All Out. It looks like they're building up to it already. They've been doing this little feud between Britt Baker and Big Swole, haven't they? I'm only allowed 4 emotes at the moment, Lucha Reject. Until we get more channel members, I'm only allowed 4 emotes. And it's cost me like £10 to get one made, so I'll have to wait and see how good it is first. But yeah, I think I would like to get some more like that. But I'm only allowed 4 at the moment. So we're going to get like 5-star match, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Jay, it depends, doesn't it, really, where they both are going to sit, because Moxley's fighting for the TNT Championship tonight. Should he win that, he might go into the pay-per-view as a champion. It's up to you, Lucha Reject. I mean, let me just double check I'm right there. If I go into it now, memberships. So we have one member, Danilo Klajevic. I'm not sure if he's aware because I've never seen him in streams or seen him comment on any videos, but I do appreciate if you are around, my friend. Currently we have 6 badges for subscribers, which I've not changed. They're standing. I've got 4 potential emojis. I unlock your 5th emoji at 1 more member. I could do that. We can get 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we can get 5 emojis, 1-star through to 5-star. I mean, I'm not pushing anyone to do anything. I mean, the membership, I've got rid of the one that we got held ransom over. Literally, the membership now is £1.99 a month. That's it, and it just gives you the access to the badges and that sort of stuff. I didn't want to be held ransom anymore, so I got rid of all them other ones. But I still wanted to keep it where you guys can get the badges and that sort of stuff. So I've got that still. Don't know how much it'll work. I don't know. Like after you get that, do you get more then? I don't know if you can get more afterwards. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'll have a look. But it'd be pretty good to have those sort of 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star emojis for you guys to use after matches. I think that'd be pretty cool. It'd be much easier to see what you guys rate certain things as. Yeah, Nyla's quite good. It's an interesting match so far, this. So I'm not quite sure if it's going long as a good thing or going long as in a bad thing. I'm not quite sure at the moment. Backstabber, though, by Britt Baker on Big Swole into the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Britt Baker slams a boot into the hand of Big Swole. Big Swole slowly gets back up to her feet. Britt now super kick right into the face of Big Swole. There's the pin. 1, 2, and no, still only a 2. Wow. Wow, both of these ladies want to go on and have the opportunity to become the first ever AEW Women's Champion in this universe. Britt with another super kick. That's got to be all, hasn't it? No, again. Big Swole kicks out. This is insane, this is. I wonder if they'll give me a bid if I do, like, all of them at the same time. 3 emotes, 6 emotes. Oh no, I was wrong. I'm actually paying 13 quid for an emote. Bloody hell. It's possible, New Generation. I know AEW are really pushing themselves to try and be like a very progressive company with those sort of situations, but it's difficult to say at the moment, isn't it? I don't know whether Rio just won it because Rio and Kenny Omega are very, very good friends. Good evening, Max Moon. Conan's dodgy gimmick in WWF. And Big Swole finally, wow. Okay, I'm surprised Big Swole got that, to be honest, because she was getting really taken out by Britt Baker for quite a long time, but she does pull it out the bag, and Big Swole moves on to the pay-per-view to fight for a Women's Championship. That's the words I'm trying to say. My words not worked very well there for a moment. Swole. Swole. Okay, reset that. Boom. I mean, Britt knocked her quite a few times. I'm happier for Swole just because I don't think this Britt Baker looks anything like Britt Baker whatsoever. So I'm happy for Swole to go through. At least it sort of looks like her. It's got her sort of facial features at least. And there we go, Big Swole with a victory. Well, actually, no, I say that now. It's when it gets close up to her face, it doesn't look anything like it, does it? But it's the only Big Swole available, so we're stuck with her, I'm afraid. We are stuck with this Big Swole. We've got 3 more matches left. We've got another one tonight, of course. Awesome Kong versus B. Priestley. On the next episode, we've got Shida versus Riho. And then our final qualifier will be Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander. Right, so let's keep moving. Yeah, it's true. I know. I don't know about Jamie Hayter actually being on the roster. I know B. Priestley is actually on the physical roster if you go on the AEW website. I'm not sure whether Jamie Hayter is officially signed or not. I wonder where AEW was going to stand on some of these people that are being released as well. I mean, it seems like Impact's just picking everyone up, aren't they, at the moment? So Impact are now teasing Eric Young, EC3, Gallows and Anderson, and now Heath Slater today as well, I saw. All being teased to come back to the company. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go for Bully Ray as well, to be honest now. It looks like they're trying to bring in some sort of Aces and Eights revamp. Right, here we go then. Tag team number 1 contendership. The Young Bucks versus Best Friends. Yeah, that's the problem, Jay. She comes with a lot of baggage, Tessa, to be honest. And there's an opportunity for her to sign for AEW. I mean, I'm on like an AEW fan page on Facebook, and quite a lot of people on there are saying about the Revival, Tessa and Sean Spears as like a stable would be pretty awesome. Obviously being led by Tully Blanchard. But again, with AEW trying to be a bit more of a progressive company when it comes to the history of Tessa Blanchard, that might go against them, to be honest. Switch roll for Big Swole. I mean, if we did this on 2K20, we could do like an intergender tournament, couldn't we? Have Big Swole alongside, of course, Cedric Alexander, husband and wife. So the winner of this one will get the opportunity to face off against the Lucha Bros for the Tag Team Championships. Lucha Bros. John McCain. Something, something, and Bruce Wayne. That's the lyrics of the song, I'm pretty sure. It's all about Bruce Wayne and John McCain. And John McCain's the guy. Who's the guy of Die Hard? That's not John. That's John McClane. Yippee-ki-yay. Chuck Taylor, big boot in the leg of Nick Jackson, and Chuck just sending Nick to the outside as Matt taking down Trent, middle of the ring. Now, well, Gallows worked for Impact, didn't he? He was part of Aces and Eights. Yeah, Heath Slater never worked there, no. But they're teasing the returns of EC3 and Eric Young. Gallows and Anderson are definitely go in there, by the looks of it, with a New Japan contract as well. But yeah, Heath Slater is advertising himself today as returning on the 28th, which is the day of Slammiversary, I believe. Yeah, Gallows was part of Aces and Eights, weren't he? Carl Anderson wasn't. Swiss roll. I wonder what the hell you're on about. So I'd have a big swell. Oh, that sounds bad, doesn't it? What I mean is I'd have a really big Swiss roll, but it just sounded really iffy when I said it the other way. Yeah, the mystery opponent is going to be, well, the way that it looks. There's the awful waffle by Chuck Taylor. Because the game works though, it's not going to work. Oh no, he does kick out. Yeah, it looks to me, New Generation, that main event mystery opponent is going to be EC3. EC3 will then win the Fatal 4-Way because they've been teasing Moose with EC3's music, I believe. So my thoughts are that EC3 comes back, wins the belt, and then EC3 and Moose feud to unify the two championships. I think they've left that a bit obvious, to be honest, now. Matt Jackson, the Bucks get the win. There we go. The Young Bucks get the victory, which does fit my plans nicely. Because there we go, Jay. What you've said that just on cue now. So Kenny Omega is defending the AEW Championship at the pay-per-view against Pac, and the Lucha Bros are defending their tag team championships against the Young Bucks. So I believe that coming close up to the pay-per-view, let's have a hype match: Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Pac and the Lucha Bros. The Elite versus the Death Triangle. Well, that worked out better than I hoped. Well, no, it worked out exactly how I hoped, actually, but there we go. So, the Young Bucks gets the win, Best Friends gets the loss. Boomity boomity boom. Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson with the wins, and Chuck Taylor and Trent with the losses. There we go. We'll still be able to use Best Friends for a bit, I think. Lucha Bros. John McClane. Saving people in a tall building in Die Hard 1. That's the lyrics, I'm sure it is. The whole song's about Die Hard. I'm sure it is. Right, we move on then. To what's an interesting match. It's Wardlow versus Alex Reynolds. Of course, Preston Vance faced off against Wardlow last week. Or Monday, as it's otherwise known. Preston Vance got the victory, then assaulted Wardlow after the match. He wants some retribution, but Alex Reynolds has been placed in his way. And Preston Vance will be there to... That's always been the argument, hasn't it, New Generation? If it's a Christmas film or not. I mean, it's a film that came out at Christmas time and it's got loads of snow in it. I mean, just because it's got nothing to do with Santa doesn't mean it's not a Christmas film. Possibly it's a better Christmas film than anything else because it's the only Christmas film you can watch all the way throughout the year without it being weird because it's not Christmas time. That's my argument. I'm sticking to it. Right, here we go then. I mean, in fairness, this should be pretty one-sided, isn't it, I think? Pretty one-sided. I think, yeah, I think AEW's doing okay at the moment. I mean, it's these final 3 matches. Awesome Kong versus B. Priestley. Brian Cage versus Lance Archer. Luchasaurus versus John Moxley for the TNT Championship. That's what's going to, for AEW's sake, hold them above NXT. But will they do it? That's the big question. Wardlow, big boot in the gut of Reynolds. Now sending Reynolds off the ropes. Up into a power slam. Big strength being shown here. And you saw Wardlow just stare down. And here is Preston Vance getting right in the face of Wardlow once again. Wardlow really wants his retribution and... oh yeah, Alex Reynolds tried to take advantage. It did not work. I mean, the question, right? I do have a question here. If we want to stick to sort of realism to a point, and we won't do it now because it's already at a point, we're already involved in it now, but in the future, if AEW stays in this, should AEW get dark as well? Because in real life, they have 2 shows in a week. Should they be given that as well? Yes, Jay, I will be, yeah. I'm absolutely knackered today. I want to go to bed, to be honest. And I want to play a couple of games of FIFA to unlock Kubo. Wardlow now with a power slam on that guy. I've forgotten his name now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tricky, isn't it? I think it's all situational, isn't it? Because NXT's obviously got a much stronger roster than AEW because they've got the alumni. Yeah, it probably possibly would be unfair. It'd be unfair unless, I mean, it's too late now anyway because we've got this underway. But I mean, we could have done NXT with 205 Live and AEW with Dark, could be really, I suppose. But it doesn't matter now. We're already halfway through. There's the pin attempt by Wardlow, but Preston Vance distracting the referee, and Preston just aggravating Wardlow more and more as Alex Reynolds rolls Wardlow up and almost gets a cheeky 3 count. That could have caused some serious problems, that would have done. Yeah, we could have done that, actually, yeah. I mean, it's too late now. We're already halfway through, aren't we? But maybe we'll have a look at that in the future. Maybe it depends what brand we pick. I mean, Impact could have Explosion. I mean, MLW's only got 1, haven't they? Ring of Honor's only got 1. Lucha Underground. I mean, you could do AAA and Lucha Underground as separate shows. I don't know. Maybe we're just getting too far ahead of ourselves. Maybe we should just stick with what we've got and not overcommit again, because that's the problem, isn't it? Alex Reynolds, big kick to the side of the head of Wardlow, who's getting a bit of a singles run in this, isn't he? I mean, it wasn't anticipated. It was supposed to be just a battle of the enforcers in the last episode, Wardlow versus Preston Vance, and it sort of built its own little story out of it. And now Wardlow versus Preston Vance could end up being a pretty decent match for us. Wardlow now taking Alex Reynolds up into a backbreaker, but keeps it in and into a power slam. Wardlow brings Reynolds back up to his feet. Into a jackknife powerbomb. And I don't think Preston Vance has really helped Alex Reynolds here. He's just delayed the inevitable beating. And wow, Alex Reynolds not helping himself now as well, kicking out of this one. Wardlow stalking. Reynolds up. Wardlow now slamming him down. The way has got the F5 on this. Either way, he is victorious. Wardlow gets the big win here against Alex Reynolds. Some retribution gained. But of course, what Wardlow really wants is a rematch against Preston Vance. Will he get that, or will he have to wait until the pay-per-view? That's going to be the interesting question, isn't it, really? No, Preston Vance didn't lose that, did he? Alex Reynolds lost it. There we go. Plus, it helps us put Alex Reynolds on the right place of the card as well. What's wrong with you? You don't want food again, do you, surely? God, these cats are just demanding so much food at the moment. How can you be hungry? You eat more than I do. And you weigh as much as my leg. You weigh less than my leg, actually, because I've got a big leg. Right, there we go. Wardlow victorious. Let's move on to the next match of the evening. We're moving into the big three now. Awesome Kong versus B. Priestley to start things off. Then we've got Brian Cage versus Lance Archer. And then Luchasaurus versus John Moxley in that TNT Championship match. What are you meowing at? Got your tail. Right, so the winner of this one will join Big Swole and Abaddon at the pay-per-view to fight for the Women's Championship alongside two others, of course. That was a long loading screen, wasn't it? If Awesome Kong doesn't win this, then Awesome Kong versus Nyla Rose needs to happen at some point. No, it's just to give him a secondary show, I suppose, Jay. But like I say, we won't do anything now. We're already started in this. It's going to be a bit complicated because some companies don't have two shows, some do. So it'll be a bit awkward, I think. We'll just stick to what we know, I suppose. What are you doing? What are you doing? So the cat just grabbed... She's that intent to get strokes that she's grabbing my hand and pulling my hand towards her. So I have interest. Have any of you guys disliked the video, or is it more dodgy YouTube-ness going on again? I don't know what's happening at the moment. I know what I think's happening, but I think somebody's got several accounts that dislike all our videos, but hey ho. Whatever keeps him happy. Yeah, it must be more dodgy YouTube-ness. Then we've got 10 dislikes and 11 likes, so yeah, like I said, I think something dodgy's going on. It involves a certain person, but I don't know how to block him without him making a comment. But hey-ho. Whatever keeps him happy, I suppose. Whatever keeps him occupied. What do you want now? Where did you go? I can hear you. Oh, there you are. I can hear you, but I can't see you. He's like stealth cat. Like a cat burglar. Attempt at a big kick in the corner by B. Priestley, and Kong just sits her out. Priestley taking Kong down. Kong just flattens B. Priestley. Brings her up, and now Kong throttles B. Up into that big choke slam. But Kong's still not happy. Kong now stalking Priestley. Once again looking for that implant buster. Up she goes and dropped by Kong. Bad times, Kong. Bad times. There's the pin. And there's the win. For Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong walked this, didn't she, really? Absolutely walked it. It was the most simple match we've seen so far in this women's tournament. B. Priestley, though, offering a handshake. So by the end of this tournament, every woman should have wrestled at least once. Be pretty good. And there we go. Big win there for Kong. So I managed to figure it out. Let me see if that does anything then. No, it hasn't. Okay. I thought that might work anyway. So Lance Archer and Brian Cage, big match. Do you think, Lucha? I thought NXT were just. I thought NXT were a bit ahead at the moment, to be honest. I thought NXT were maybe slightly ahead, but these next two matches I think could definitely swing it in AEW's way. Yeah, B. Priestley did not do very well there at all, did she? Right, the bell goes then. We are underway. Lance Archer versus Brian Cage. And Archer starting things off strong. What's the rule on offside now in football? It's hopefully confusing, isn't it? What are you doing down there? I mean, it's possible. I mean, these next two matches could be very good. They're the best opportunities, aren't they, really? Cage versus Lance Archer, and of course, Moxley versus Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship as well. Oh, screw you there. I mean, well, I can't say for yet, Jay. I suppose there's still 2 matches left of AEW, isn't there, really? But I think if these 2 matches are good, AEW's got a chance. But in my opinion, I felt that NXT was slightly ahead. But, of course, it's you guys doing the voting. Arch now, big knee in the gut of Brian Cage. Archer swinging some stiff rights. Nice stunning shooting star by Brian Cage on the outside as well. No, I'm going to stay... oh, really? Oh, AEW, AEW. AEW's just taken a hit there with a dodgy count-out victory for Brian Cage. That's not going to help them out at all in the overall rankings of tonight's show, is it? I mean, Brian Cage is going to be happy. He just picked himself up a big victory against Lance Archer. But that has not gone down well, I don't think, for AEW's ratings tonight. So we're down to the main event now then. I mean, it depends how you look at it. I mean, it was a smart thing to do by Brian Cage. Ah. Why'd you shout at me so much? Where are you? I don't like the way she can just like meow and then I can't see her. Well, it's for the TNT Championship. Jon Moxley versus Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus already defended the championship once successfully. What's that? Ah, there's a fly. That's what it is. There's a fly flying around the room. My cat's just sat there going... just Peter Griffining at it. Right then, here we go. Jon Moxley versus Luchasaurus. TNT Championship on the line. Will Luchasaurus be able to get himself another successful championship defense? Or will Jon Moxley prove to be one step too far for him? What's up? I can't reach it. It's too far up there. It's like 6 foot up. You can't reach it. I'll lift you up in a minute. You can grab it, okay? That was a blatant dive. Really? Them in Chelsea. Cats are cheap, Jay. You ain't got to pay a lot of money. My cats cost 40 quid each. They cost more than that in food every week now, like, don't get me wrong, but still. Belly to belly by Luchasaurus. Moxley with a clothesline, but Luchasaurus catches him into a gut wrench. Big boot in the gut then by Jon Moxley. Luchasaurus slowly getting back up to his feet, but Moxley does not allow him that opportunity. Big one. Oh, wow. Mox fights back, though. Big clothesline taking Luchasaurus down now. Mox twisting the head of Luchasaurus, slamming him back of the head first into the mat. If Luchasaurus can pull this off, that's going to be very impressive for him, to be honest. I mean, a win over Moxley would be one of the biggest wins of his career, I think. think it definitely would be. Luchasaurus dropping his weight onto the leg of Jon Moxley. Yeah, Jay, cats are a lot easier for the lazier person, I would know. As long as you put food in their bowl 3 times a day, they'll just keep all the spiders out the house for you. It's a win-win situation, really. Luchasaurus. Big suplex. I mean, this could be a massive, massive win. This could be. Moxley now slamming Luchasaurus down to turning things back around. And Mox now heading up to the top. Wow, Justin. Morning time already. Justin's turned up just in time for the final match of the entire stream. Moxley slamming the back of Luchasaurus' head into the mat. It's not a bad shout, New Generation. It depends what we do with the Wardlow Preston Vance feud, I suppose. Whether we finish that beforehand or whether that goes on to the pay-per-view as well. That's jumping Bulldog. Nah, Lucha Reject, you're too powerful for this. You'd win for sure. Air raid slam by Luchasaurus into the pin on Moxley. Too close to the ropes, though. If Luchasaurus pulls this off, it's going to be insane. Standing Spanish Fly. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. I hate the way in this game the referee stops counting before the animation of the kick out happens. It always frustrates me. There is the Dirty Deeds, the paradigm shift, if you will, by Moxley on Luchasaurus. And this is a brand new TNT champion. Jon Moxley wins the belt. But the question is, was it good enough? Was it a good enough show? Luchasaurus no longer TNT champion. Jon Moxley takes the moniker and becomes a one-time TNT champion as well. The 3rd TNT champion in this universe. And Jon Moxley will be defending that belt next week. Of course, against Luchasaurus' tag team partner, Jungle Boy. So there we go. Now the tricky decision. I must admit, I do feel like it was pretty even this week, to be honest. I felt like both streams so far have been very, very close. I wouldn't like to be the one picking, I must admit. I would not like to be in your guys' shoes, I must admit, making these votes. So we know we've got, like we said, we've got TNT Championship. I would say... New Generation. I've seen your idea come through. Cody versus MJF. I'm all up for that, but obviously Cody's not allowed to fight for the championship. So what I probably would say is we could do MJF versus Cody, and the winner would get the opportunity at the TNT Championship at the pay-per-view instead. If you're happy with that. I think if we look at the 2 cards, I mean the Brian Cage Lance Archer match definitely let AEW down this week, in my opinion. Definitely let them down. Awesome Kong versus Shida versus B Priestley was pretty one-sided. The Battle Royal was alright at the beginning. Yes, get in West Ham. Sorry, I got distracted there. West Ham just scored. Wardlow versus Alex Reynolds was actually a pretty decent match as well, to be honest. Over in NXT, what do we have there? We had some pretty good matches there as well. It's a tricky one, to be honest, isn't it? It is a tricky one. Cage versus Archer got a 1.5 star rating. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. Well, there we go then. I've just seen the goal now. There we go then. That is the end of AEW and NXT. New Generation's giving AEW both weeks at the moment. I mean, I can't quite decide. I mean, I think both streams have been very close, to be honest. Yeah, I think both streams have been very close. Next stream, we've got a very strong NXT episode with Io Shirai versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. Kevin Owens, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream for the Northern American #1 contendership. Undisputed Era versus Birch and Lorcan in the Dusty Classic. Cedric Alexander versus the Street. Cedric Alexander and Ricochet versus the Street Profits in the Dusty Classic. Drew Gulak versus TJP. Walter versus Killian Dane versus Ilya Dragunov in a #1 contendership for the UK Championship. In AEW, we've got nothing sort of set in stone at the moment. We've got John Moxley versus Jungle Boy is one of the matches we do have set up. And we have Hikaru Shida versus Riho for a place in the Women's Championship. And then we'll have to try and figure stuff out. I like the idea of the Cody versus MJF. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Maybe we could use that for week 4. And then the winner get the opportunity at the TNT Championship. So I do like that idea. I'll have to have a look at it tomorrow, I think. And obviously we'll be streaming episode 3 tomorrow. So episode 3 of NXT and AEW. So I'm sure at that point, we should hopefully have some sort of leader going on. Well, I think that's me done for the night now. I'm going to have a bit of a rest, watch the end of the football, and get to bed early. Because I've been doing a lot of early start to work this week, so I'm absolutely shattered. You know, end of the month and that sort of stuff. Finances and reports and KPIs and forecasts and all that sort of stuff. It's boring as hell, I know. But it's been a lot of work for me. So yeah, I'm going to head off to bed, watch the end of the football. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Of course, any suggestions for AEW and NXT from in the Discord? Do you want me to set up the vote for the next brand now, or we should be finishing this on Saturday night? So, and then we'll start the next one on Monday. So we could possibly vote on the brand to get kicked out and the brand to come in on Saturday through to Sunday, or we could put the vote out for the new brand now, and I can start to build it then, I suppose. It's up to you guys. Let me know what you want to see. Yeah, voting brands off on Sunday. Do you want the vote for the brand to come in now, or do it after the pay-per-views? Okay, then. Okie doke. I'll see how many suggestions I can put in there and see what we got. I'll probably look at combining a few like we suggested. Say Stardom and Shimmer will combine into just one big women's brand, I suppose. We'll combine CZW and ECW into one big hardcore brand. We'll combine AAA and Lucha Underground into one big brand, I suppose, as well. So we'll see how it goes. I think I can only put 6 in Lucha Rejects. I'll have to see what I can do. Maybe I might select them at random. Or maybe do 2 separate votes, maybe. Okay. Either way, I'm heading off to bed. I'll see you all later. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Tatty buys.